The goal of Santorini is simply to get your pawn to the 3rd level. So right here. To set up Santorini, start by placing your pawns. The instruction books say that one player places both of his pawns and then the next player places both of his. But the way that we do it is to simply place one pawn at a time, alternating back and forth. Each turn, you're going to take exactly 2 actions. 2. Count them. 2. The 2 actions that you can take are you move and then you build. You can move your pawn to any adjacent empty space and move up exactly 1 level. You can move down any number of levels. After you move, you proceed to build. Unlike moving, you can build any level despite where you're at. So you could build a dome from the ground level. When you build, you just add a level to what's there. So if you're building on top of the ground, you build the level 1. On top of level 1, you put the level 2. And on top of level 2, you put the level 3. And finally, on top of the 3rd level, you put the dome. If at any point your pawns are unable to move because they're blocked in, then you lose the game. Santorini, not the game you just lost now. Finally, if you're able to move the pawn to the 3rd level, you win Santorini. Santorini is a delightfully fun game that punches well above its weight. I love the way the movement and the building works in this game. Like I said in the instruction video, you can only move up 1 level at a time, but there's no limit to how many levels you can build. You're trying to keep them far enough away that by the time you move and you put on that 3rd level, they can't stop you because they can only move 1 square at a time. And this little blue dome, this ability to block your opponent's hopes and dreams, capping off their ability to win. It's so satisfying. And if this very simple yet engaging game is just a little too simple for you, they've got you covered. They've got these cards right here. These are god cards that are divided into 2 categories. There's the beginner god cards and the advanced god cards. Most of this rulebook is actually dedicated to the powers of the god cards. The god cards give you special powers. Demeter, allowing you to build before and after you move. Or there's Artemis, who lets you move twice. Or Atlas, who will let you put a dome anywhere. And this guy's fun, by the way. You're constantly throwing domes around to try to keep your opponent from moving. And the game actually has a really clever way of keeping these balanced. See, one player picks the cards. Then the other player chooses which card he wants to play as. If you get the short end of the power stick on a round, it's your fault because you chose the cards. So there's rules in here for 3 to 4 player game. I've done a 3-player game, which is where it uses all 6 of the pawn, the worker characters. But I think this is a 2-player game, and that's the way I prefer to play it. One of the best 2-player games out there, in my opinion. Aesthetically speaking, the game does its job. The artwork is charming and fun, and the box actually does a good job at conveying what the game is about. And the miniatures are detailed enough. Not too fancy, but it's just right for this game. But the little Santorini pieces is what really makes this game shine in my book. If you've ever seen pictures of the real town of Santorini, they nail the aesthetic, and it makes me want to go out and visit there. What are some criticisms I would throw at this game? There's really not a whole lot. It's simple. It doesn't try to be more than what it is. If you want the simple experience, play without the god powers, but if you want to add some more depth, throw in the god cards. I actually don't have a preferred way of playing. Sometimes I'll play the game on basic mode, if I'm just interested in pure strategy, or if you want to add a little bit of chaos, I'll throw in the god powers. Just depends on how I'm feeling for the day. Those of you who know the game have noticed that I have been playing the first edition of the game. Feel free to let me know in the comments if I'm wrong, but I didn't think this game needed a second edition, and frankly, the second edition wasn't enough for me to go out and buy it. I think the artwork just looks slightly different, and I really like this artwork, so there was no reason for me to go out and get it. One of the expansions looked kind of interesting, but I'm not the kind of guy who will go out and buy a brand new game just because I think some of the expansions might be interesting. I don't think this game really needed expansions. Frankly speaking, I'm not a big fan of when games just change the artwork and might make some minor tweaks to the gameplay and then call it a second edition, especially when the game is not in need of a second edition. Looking at you, Sheriff of Nottingham. Which is why I give Santorini a very solid 8 out of 10. This is a great game for 2 players, and I think it's right in almost any collection. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, take the initiative and roll out.